speaking of the moon and the great day I had, there was a rare celestial spectacle on the weekend.
There was. It was on the Thursday.
Yes. A total eclipse of the heart.
A total eclipse of the heart. And you wouldn't read about it. It was very beautiful from up in Exmouth, but in Perth it was, unless you had the glasses, you probably wouldn't have seen much.
Yes.
And if you say, oh man, it was amazing, I looked at it for ages, that's bad. Don't do that.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I don't look at the sun a whole lot.
I don't like to. I hate it.
I respect its privacy.
Yeah.
But this is one of the few times where you probably should invade the sun's privacy.
Just quickly, though.
Yeah.
Many cultures worship the sun as a god. We've talked about sun worship before.
Yes.
The fact that it is so blinding that I can't even look at it
look at it.
Does give it a very godly feel.
It does, doesn't it? It's like this thing, it's always there. It's always looking at us. We can't look at it.
It is so bright that people who stare at it go blind.
Wow.
Except for when we have a total solar eclipse, in which case it's safe to view it for 50 seconds. But you're not even looking at that.
Respect the sun. We are descendants of sun worshippers. This is why it's so fascinating, isn't it? And perhaps we're still sun worshippers in some respect. I mean, I am.
It felt like
it felt like it that day, didn't it? Everyone was sort of having a new appreciation for the sun.
Okay, I'm seeing this path. Yeah, it does. It gets. I'm confused. Totality. That's the totality line.
Totality line. So the diehard eclipse chasers descended on Exmouth, and that's the best place on the planet to see it. Yes, because that's the totality line, and we in Perth did not get a totality line. No. We got the old, what's that one? A 70%er, apparently.
70%er.
70%
made everything
coverage.
10% darker.
Yeah, like you were saying, it's one of those rare times you can look at the sun and you can see its glorious outer atmosphere.
Well, not only that, but just to go back to what I said before, if you were sun worshippers, then you would view this as quite an important event. You would think, holy shit, the gods are speaking to us right now.
I mean, this one was actually particularly special as well because there's only 7 of this type of eclipse that happen in the 21st century.
That is big.
That is. But there's different degrees of eclipses. So this is something I'm looking into because I didn't understand what was going on. I heard that this is a super rare type and a hybrid solar eclipse. I was like, what the hell is a hybrid? I had to read like 3 different things to actually discern the nuance in what was happening because this type of eclipse only happens 4.8% of the time. So what it is, let me give you a quick brief rundown on my research. A total eclipse is where the moon lines up perfectly on top of the sun. You get the corona. There is no part of the surface of the sun visible. Got it. So that's what happened at Exmouth. That is a total, and that's not uncommon. I'll get to what. This one was slightly different, but I'll tell you why in a second. Then you got a partial eclipse, which is where the moon takes a bite out of the sun. You can still see some of the sun. You shouldn't look at it, despite it being a bit darker. Don't look at it. If you're going to look at it, put those cool sunglasses on.
Put the glasses on.
Just be, how we always depict the sun wearing sunglasses? Yes. You know when you're a kid and you draw the sun wearing sunnies? How funny is it that when we look at the sun, we wear the sunglasses? There's something going on. It's like that's part of the sun worshipping.
Ah, yes.
I think that when we look back on things, people think that the sunglasses is part of the worship. So you got the total eclipse lines up perfectly, the partial eclipse taking a bite out of it.
Bites. Now,
there's 2 types of total eclipses, and that is where the moon lines up perfectly with the sun. Okay? It's funny because the moon is actually 400 times smaller than the sun.
It's good maths, isn't it?
Yes, because rather conveniently, it is 400 times closer. The moon's orbit is slightly elliptical. So some eclipses, the moon's a little bit closer and it creates an annular eclipse where although it's perfectly aligned, there is still a ring of sun coming around the outside of the moon, which you should not look at
which you
because
should
it's the
not look
surface
at.
of the sun
Correct.
without the cool glasses.
Cool glasses, wear them.
And that's a ring of fire or an annular eclipse. And it's still perfectly aligned, but because it's a little bit closer than it's 400 times, it's now 401 times closer, and there's a ring. So it's not perfect. And then there's other times where it's a little bit further in its orbit and it's a perfect alignment.
Yes.
And the sun is completely obscured and a spectacular, beautiful corona is then revealed.
Take your glasses off.
Take the glasses off. Enjoy
Pop
yourself.
them on in a second, though.
So they're the two types of total eclipses.
Yes.
So there's a total eclipse, a partial eclipse, and within that there's two types of total. There's a fourth type of eclipse, the rarest of all, is the hybrid.
No, this is the rare one.
This is the rarest.
Sounds like a Pokemon.
And this is what happened. There's only 7 in this. Depending on where you are on the Earth, it can be an annular or a total.
Oh, get
because
fucked.
it's right in the sweet spot because the Earth is curved. This is more evidence that we're on a ball rather than a flat. If you see that line of the eclipse,
it's sort of going northwest.
Somewhere on that line, if you are standing there, I don't know where, it's either the beginning or it's probably the beginning and the end of it. It's actually the total eclipse is actually an annular ring of fire eclipse, and other parts of it which are closer to it because the Earth is curved, you're moving away from it. So maybe more towards the poles, you're going to get the annular. But where Exmouth was, they did get a total.
Yeah, they got the banging one. They were syncing Pink Floyd at that bit. It'll be playing the song Eclipse on Dark Side of the Moon.
Yes.
So they queued it up. It's pretty cool.
Did you see some people dancing around on the beach there they had a black pyramid on the beach?
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, just get really occulty with it if you want to. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, why not?
So check. Did you hear about, because there's a lot of eclipse talk going on at the moment.
Yeah.
Just under a year from now.
Yeah.
Everything's bigger and better in America, or at least they claim to be.
Always. Yep.
I heard they were a bit jealous of our eclipse that we had. They were very jealous, and they thought, fuck them. Right? They're nothing on us. So they've scheduled the Great American Solar Eclipse.
They've scheduled it in. Shit.
Yes. 8th of April, 2024.
Big one-up.
And they're one-upping us pretty seriously as well. We see how it just touches Exmouth, and so we have, maybe a couple of 100 square kilometres where you can see the eclipse.
Yep, I see that. Are they smack bang somewhere in America?
Well, see how it runs across, the eclipse moves, the shadow of the moon will move across the Earth.
Yeah.
They've got one that is going, the path of totality is going for 198 kilometres along America.
Oh.
Running from southwest Texas to northern New England.
No.
Get this.
No.
The duration of totality will vary from nearly 4.5 minutes in Texas to over 3.25 minutes in Maine.
Wow. And you get on the road in Texas and you just follow it? You just get in the car and drive.
Get on Route 66 and just go.
Yeah, and just go as fast as possible and keep up with the moon.
So we have 2,800 people that live in Exmouth. So that's how many people naturally live there that we're going to experience the totality of the eclipse.
Yeah.
An estimated 32 million people live inside the totality path. And countless millions more are anticipated to travel into the path in the day leading up to what has been called E-Day.
Wow, that's pretty exciting.